And we're live! Welcome to the Weekly Pull. As usual, I'm Benny the Comicstorian. That is Joel from Cave Joel. That is Sal from Comic Pop. And that is Rob, also known as the Chat in his off hours.
Man, Rob, you seem different since you went away.
Today's episode of the Weekly Pull is brought to you by Loot Crate, because they're pretty much everywhere.
Yeah.
So what you guys get to do now is we're going to play a contest. Who do you like more? My Loot Crate code is Comic2. What is yours, Joel?
I believe I am with another rival organization that I don't.
All right, Joel, shut the hell up. Sal, what is yours?
I believe my Loot Crate code can be either TV Little House or Comic Pop.
Whatever works. But you know what? Loot Crate is a great service you can get once a month. I'm not going to lie. Sometimes they're a little subpar, but the ones that are really awesome are really awesome. And it makes up for the subpar ones. And they've also just launched a t-shirt service known as Level Up, where you can get socks, wearables, t-shirts, and other merchandising. They sent me quite a few cool things, and I was actually really impressed with it. So don't forget to go check out the Level Up clothing line and use the promo code Comic2, or if you want their weekly, monthly box of goodiness, go use the code ComicPop. Thank you, and have a good day. Moving on, what are the topics?
Well, we got an embarrassment of riches as far as topics go this week. Our cup runneth over. The first big story, Cloak and Dagger are going to be getting a TV series from the Freeform Network. We don't have this in my country. Really? That's all Cloak and Dagger gets? People have been excited for this for so long?
Nobody's been excited about Cloak and Dagger. Who the hell wants a Cloak and Dagger TV show?
I'll watch a Cloak and Dagger show.
But then you're wrong. Who else cares about Cloak and Dagger?
They got a cool power set. They're an interracial couple. I think you could do a lot of interesting stories with them.
They can teleport and do dagger stuff. I don't even know what she does.
Yeah.
She does light dagger stuff. She can create, like, energy weapons.
Yeah. I mean, no, it's that they're tortured teenagers that are on the run. They're homeless and runaways. It's cool. It's a cool story.
But they're not the Runaways, even though they occasionally cross over with the Runaways.
Yes, and they balance each other out. Like, he's the dark, she's the light, and they find like balance within each other.
They had like a cameo in the latest Spider-Man arc, and it was horrible.
Yes. Oh, it was awful. Oh, no.
It's like, now they're bad guys.
but only because of Mr. Negative,
who controlled their mind, and their powers had also been switched around because of like Spider Island, so we had to get them back to their status quo. No doubt because they knew the show news was coming.
I think it was because Dan Slott was just like, no, put the toys back where I found them. I want Cloak and Dagger to be Cloak and Dagger.
But didn't Dan Slott do the Spider Island power swap around?
Yeah, he's the guy. Well, like, remember when Bendis made Doctor Strange not the Sorcerer Supreme and then said, who's it going to be? Good luck, Marvel writers. And none of them wrote it. And he was like, well, then I'll write it. Brother Voodoo's the Sorcerer Supreme. Here you go, guys. And no one did anything with it. And he's like, okay, Doctor Strange is Sorcerer Supreme again. You're welcome, everybody.
I'm noticing that trend. Bendis likes to do, he does he's one of my favorite writers, and he does some amazing work. But he loves to do plot points and then leave them hanging. In recent memory, I know he's not a part of the Tony Stark brother who's actually the kid. I know he's not a part of that, but that's one of the cliffhangers that he's like, I'm going to answer. He did it with Spider-Man. Who's Miles Morales in the main universe? Now we'll never know. Ever.
Now it's real Miles Morales.
Yeah. He just exists.
He did the what's it called? The Invincible Iron Man. He basically dropped this amazing bomb of, we have a cure for mutants. We're never going to do that again.
Well, I bet it has something to do with the death of X.
I almost put that on here. I almost put that story on.
Well, you know what? Let's go ahead and go to Death of X, because I don't know anything about it other than that's
all we know. Oh. That's all we know. And we know that, like, Bendis wrote a thing, and I've noticed that Bendis is kind of becoming, Bendis gone.
I'm right here. I was just opening the door. It's a little warm.
I've noticed that Benny
as we call him,
that Bendis has become more and more integrated and ingrained into like what Marvel's doing now since Jonathan Hickman left. So I feel like Death of X could literally be the mic drop or the like teaser that Bendis left in Invincible Iron Man, where he's like, if you didn't read that, tough luck, because I'm doing a thing about the X-Men, and it's that they're gonna be dead.
So your theory is that Bendis is running wild on Marvel Comics at this point?
Yes, I think they're like, when did people like what we were doing when Bendis was doing everything?
So they're pulling what DC's doing right now, where they're like, remember all the stuff you liked? We're doing all that again.
Yeah. I mean, Marvel's not making a big... The only difference is Marvel's not making a big screaming deal out of it.
Well, I feel like, as much as I love DC, DC needs to make a big screaming deal out of it.
Yes, they do.
Because everyone's like, fuck DCU, I'm out.
Oh yeah. Oh no. Trust me. We actually have we got the previews catalog from DC, and we're doing a most anticipated titles from DC for Rebirth. That's coming out tomorrow. It's gonna be great. But like, I would never do that unless DC was like, we're doing a thing.
Yeah. No, exactly. We had a whole episode of this talking about what they're doing. Yeah.
And it was a very popular episode.
It was.
You know, it's funny. I sound all excited for the catalog that Sal mentioned. All of that leaked out.
And he's gone.
I'm reading cool today, so everyone will get.
It's great though. If you haven't read it.
Oh wait, I didn't even know where that is. I gotta go buy that.
It's literally just the previous catalog. Goes on sale tomorrow. The really crazy thing is the back, because it says it all starts here. It's 2 hourglasses. One is the Justice League Justice Society of America, and the other one has the Justice League from pre-Flashpoint.
Because if Crisis never happened, does that mean they can still be trapped in there and that's their way out to bring the JSA into the main continuity?
Well, if Crisis never happened, then there was always a multiverse.
It's going to be interesting to see what they do. And I know we've gone completely from a Cloak and Dagger TV shows, but my big question about the DC Rebirth is this going to be a good jumping on point, or is this going to be like a Final Crisis jumping on point? Like, we're resetting everything, and you're not going to know what the fuck is going on.
Fuck the Final Crisis jumping on point. Or like, that was not a jumping on point. That for a lot of people was a jumping off point.
Well, I'm just saying though, if that's not how they're gonna it's gonna be like it's gonna reset everything. It's gonna be cool, but you won't know what the hell is happening.
No. I think this is definitely a ground floor because they're all number ones. They're all new creative teams, and they're all new status quos. They're literally start here. Like, if you care, here it is. Like, if you want to read Batman and you haven't read any of the Snyder stuff, which if you want to read Batman and you didn't read any of the Snyder stuff, like, where have you been?
What's wrong with you?
But if you were like, nah, screw Snyder, read this because it's Tom King, which means it's going to be amazing. But it's also like new status quo, where Alfred has one hand, I guess, which I hate, but whatever.
That made sense why he lost it.
It's just dumb that he lost it in the first place.
Why was the Joker?
Like, why?
What would you have preferred?
Nothing.
Alfred loses his dick, and now you can't have kids.
He didn't have them. Don't do it. Just don't.
He's got a daughter already. She's taking over. Her name is Penny too.
Yeah, I hate her.
Why do you hate Penny too?
Yeah, what do you have
She's
against
annoying.
Julia? I like Julia.
She's great.
What's great about her? Name 3 very, very specific character traits that she actually has.
She's a secret agent. She cared enough
about
about
a character trait. That's a job.
That's a job.
She cared enough about Batman and the legacy to actually hang out with Gordon and kind of make sure that was all going
She
good.
helped Gordon. Okay, that's not a character trait. That's what she did, but I'll take it.
She is clearly intelligent enough to run all the same back end.
She's been around for like 20 issues, Sal.
So she can be Alfred. Okay, she's a replacement for Alfred that's young and a girl. That's what she is.
So
they're not replacing Alfred, so she's useless.
Oh,
she's there for her purpose is to give Alfred more of a backstory that is actually established as opposed to being who is he now.
The backstory to Alfred is fascinating and cool, and if you want to do that, make a mini series about Alfred being a secret agent. Like, do that.
Sal's rants, guys. You asked for him.
Okay, what about this? As a fresh set of eyes, and they need to do this every so often in the Bat family, bring in a fresh set of eyes to go, you people are crazy, living in caves and putting on costumes. What's wrong with you people?
That's fair. That's a fair observation.
Yeah, no, I like the comment in Batman and Robin Eternal from Grayson when he comes back, and he finds out, he's like Harper, he sees her off, he's like, you're a superhero? And he's like, oh, what did I miss? How are you a superhero? And then spoiler kicks the door open, and he's like, are they giving away costumes and Cracker Jack boxes?
That's a great line. I dig that.
It is. Despite the fact they don't really make Cracker Jack boxes anymore.
Well, I think he said cereal, but whatever. I mean, when was the last time you bought a cereal with a toy in the bottom?
Right? They haven't done that in 20 years. Like, if you want a toy, you gotta friggin' send out you gotta write a thing, send them money. It's like, why don't I just buy it?
I want my X-ray specs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So anyway, Cloak and Dagger TV show. You guys excited about it?
No.
Yes. I think it'll be fun. The freeform.
Is it Canadian?
No.
No.
Do you make anything on television in Canada?
Yes, shows that you people don't watch. We make the Trailer Park Boys.
I watched that one.
Blade show in Canada?
I don't know what that one was.
I know they shot all of Blade in Canada, like all the movies, especially the third one where it's literally just in downtown Toronto.
Lots of movies get shot here. Suicide Squad was shot in Toronto. Lots of movies get shot here. Not that
and you guys are so good at keeping secrets. Look at all the pictures.
It's the Canadian way. Taking pictures.
Good question. I don't know if you guys know the answer to this. The best guy 12355 is asking, was that Titan show canceled?
I don't know.
I think it's in development limbo right now.
Yeah, I think it's in development hell. Yeah, I think it's what's floating.
I can't imagine them making one.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like even early on, that was some fan in TNT's pipe dream on it.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think it, because they never had anything lined up or anything really go. They just like, the superheroes we're going to do. And that was.
Yeah.
Also, do we really want another network continuity when we already got to deal with the CW stuff and the Supergirl stuff? Do we really want another
As cool
universe?
as that crossover was, because I did like the episode,
Me too.
the other part of me is like, what the freak, guys? Like,
Yeah.
You've made it needlessly complicated now.
You've made it needlessly complicated. You established now that Barry at any point in his timeline is running through the multiverse, so we don't even know when this is going to fit in. Secondly, you've now definitively stated Supergirl's in a separate universe, so any chance of this just being like a messy, just, whoa, we're all in the same world, doesn't work anymore.
Well, they could legitimately just have Supergirl blast through the reality barrier, and when her show gets canceled, and then just say like,
it doesn't make any sense now, because like if they had just left them all in the same universe and just been like, oh, the reason she made comments like we're the only two superheroes is blah blah blah, stupid reason here.
well, it's because it's the same reason why like a prominent YouTuber might say that they're the only voice in comic YouTubing.
Yeah,
Like they just don't know.
They don't,
Like, so
unaware of anywhere else. So I mean, basically, they could have very easily merged them together and just been like, oh yeah, her location is over here and they're over here, so they just never really see each other.
Yeah.
They had it so much easier folding the Constantine universe in, where Constantine literally just shows up. I was like, hi, guys.
Yeah,
I was here the whole time. Constantine is way easier to integrate because he's not going to be flying overhead in a big bright costume.
No, yeah, you could very easily be like, yeah, Constantine was like 2 blocks down. I don't know how you missed all that magic shit, but
Yeah, that's fine. Like that's cool. And yeah, with the Supergirl thing, but you know what? With any super Kryptonian related character, it's going to be complicated. As long as they don't keep doing this. Or if they really keep doing this. Like, if there is an episode of Supergirl or Flash, no, it has to be Flash, where Flash breaks through the freaking reality barrier and he ends up in the Batcave and Michael Keaton turns around, I will freak out. Where it's like, no, all the DC properties, all the movies and shows we've ever done are part of the multiverse.
You didn't
Like,
know it.
and then he shows up with a George Clooney one.
That would be freaking cool. If all the Batmans, like all the like Val Kilmer Batman and George Clooney Batman and Michael Keaton, they're all different universes too. That's why they feel different.
No. What they need to do if they want to go full balls in with this,
Yeah.
is they need to have Grant Gustin. You don't even have to get the actors from Batman v Superman and Man of Steel. Grant Gustin just has to run into that metropolis and like run past the statue and then go to another
That's
universe.
all you need.
And you're like, yes, they are all connected in this manner. We can make it
Gustin
work.
Runs through Metropolis as it's crashing down, and then he goes,
all around.
and he goes and looks at the camera more or less and goes, "I will never come back here."
Never coming back here. That would be
And then he
good.
shows up, or he pops in some area and Adam West is just chilling in there.
That would be freaking amazing.
Yes, please.
We just have a whole episode of Flash where he just does cameos in other shows.
That would be okay. And then he could go through and they poorly animate him so he's on the Super Friends cartoon.
Yes.
What the hell happened?
The Wonder Twins are like, "Who's this? Jiminy Chillikers!" Like that would be so cool.
He pops up on Smallville. Someone suggested
That
that.
would-
He just shows up and just sees Clark just being like, whatever. Or he
well-
shows up, sees Bart. That'd be even better.
They need to just say that like the Supergirl show is the Smallville continuity or something. Like just bring Smallville in. It doesn't matter. Who cares?
Your Smallville one might actually be much easier than you think, because Brandon Routh is already the Atom on Legends of Tomorrow, so they need to be flying through time and find their way to that Superman Returns universe, so Routh can play against Routh.
I really want to see Routh be Superman again. He was
that would be
so
amazing.
good.
He was good at the role.
Superman.
Sounds like an SNL sketch. It would be an amazing
Pretty
It really
much.
does.
sketch.
You know what's funny? Did you guys see the SNL sketch with Chris Hemsworth as Thor, where Thor is
did.
basically a jock douche after winning against Ultron? That sketch is a good 5 minutes too long, but like the
Yeah, it
concept is funnier. I'd rather be in the writer's room with Chris Hemsworth. So, okay, you're Thor, but Thor is a douche. And he's like, oh, I like that. Like, that'd be funny, but I don't want to watch that for 10 minutes. Which I did.
can see
I was
that.
like, ugh.
All right,
like-
well, moving on to the next topic real quick, because Joel's breaking up anyway. Doesn't matter what he wants to say.
I'm recording the audio version, so I'll come in fine every time on audio.
Oh, so everyone listening to this on SoundCloud afterwards is like, what is Benny bitching about? He's fine.
Yeah, Jesus. What a
God,
jerk.
Benny's just a dick. Anyway,
so-
I am, but the new Jessica Jones series. I'm actually curious. Now, are you referring to the season 2 of the show or the comic when you wrote this note?
assume the
comic note, because apparently Bendis may have dropped it, that they might be doing a new comic series.
Yes.
See, I find this interesting because it was funny because Natalie just got done watching Jessica Jones, the show, finally, because we played a little catch up on all the old shows. I like how Joel is slowly but surely degrading. Now he's like a Vaseline fishbowl. Like, anyway. So I was explaining to her, she's like, well, they said season 2, and I'm like, I don't know what they're going to do with season 2, because pretty much what they showed in that first season is pretty much the equivalent of what is in the only comic for Jessica Jones. After this, she marries Luke Cage and becomes a running gag that she's running to Canada every time something happens. Like, she's not interesting post marrying Luke Cage and having a kid. She just runs away all the time.
She legitimately just like settles down, and that's kind of it. Which really sucks because Bendis kept threatening to make her a superhero again.
Yep.
And even to the point where she picks a new superhero name, which is Power Woman, which is so awkward to say. I hated it so much. I don't like Jewel, but I don't like Power Woman even more.
Well, Power Woman makes
on the
sense. We got
nose.
Power Girl. Like, I honestly
Like,
think
Power Power.
I think we're a little beyond the point where DC and Marvel can like carbon copy each other's names and characters.
Yeah.
Like, it's a little late for that now, guys.
It's true.
There are some interesting places you could take it. Either have the book be all about her having flashbacks of her past adventures that we never saw, or have her be fed up with suburban life and be like, man, I want to get back to being a PI again. Hey, Jess, take care of my baby while I go drink and fight.
I could see that.
Right.
I could see the new comic being entirely her being a PI based upon the character they've now built for her.
Now, I always assumed that they were kind of heading in that direction. Like, I always assumed that they were going like, okay, eventually, like, this life is not sustainable. It's a little bit like, what did it remind me of? It reminded me of Beatrix Kiddo, and it's like, you know, you might like think that you can handle this life, but the reality is you're actually this. Like, yeah, you might pretend to be a wife and a mother, but the reality is you're a self-destructive bitch. And like one day you are gonna go off. Like you're gonna have a real bad day and you're gonna just destroy your whole life again. Which I don't want to see, but I think it's like I'd like to see some kind of like happy ending twist version of that where she actually gets to be a character in the Marvel Universe again.
Yeah. Or we could do Jessica Jones, the Mom Chronicles. You know, she's got to go to mommy and me classes and soccer practice.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm liking what they're doing with Spider-Woman for that same concept.
Yeah.
But I don't think I could deal with two superheroes doing this.
Yeah.
If they they could they cross them over and call like the Super Mom Squad and have like
dude.
Susan Richards.
It was already pretty cringy. Like Spider-Woman started out, I'm not gonna lie, pretty cringy. I'm going to maternal, getting prenatal care, and I'm doing that. I'm like, why do I care? Like, I can't see that many pregnant moms buying this book. I will admit, I read the whole way through the first arc, and I loved how it resolved.
It's a good arc. I like that arc.
It started out rocky. It's one of those books that I feel like if it came out as a full trade, it would have done better than just trying to do individual, because individuals sold a different story each issue. Anyway, what I'm getting at is I don't think I could handle it becoming like the two moms doing their thing together kind of a situation. You know, with the kids teaming up. We're already gonna have Super Sons over in DC. Now we're gonna have Super Moms over on Marvel.
I'll take Super Moms. I think that's cooler, I think, than Marvel Divas from like a few years ago.
Oh yeah.
Like when they try to do an all-female Marvel book and it's just like, that's so terrible.
It's no A-Force.
No, A-Force is good.
A-Force does it right.
A-Force did it right. I don't know. I liked the first A-Force, the Secret Wars A-Force, more than this A-Force.
Me too. I don't know if I'm gonna.
The art's still fantastic, though.
Oh, totally. I don't know if I'll stick around with A-Force once G. Willow Wilson is gone. I don't know.
I wonder who's going to take over. I'd be curious.
One of the writers from Agent Carter.
Oh, never mind.
Well, kill
I
that.
I think I'm the only person in the world. I got like 3 episodes into Agent Carter, and I've never watched it since.
I like the show.
I like
but
both
that's the show I watch.
Exactly.
Supergirl, I'm probably going to end up treating Supergirl like I do Walking Dead, where I wait for the season to end. I'm just going to watch the whole thing through. I'll just pick up the DVD or something. I am not... Okay, I am all for... I'm going to go on a slight rant here. I am all goddamn for cut the cord, don't pay $120 to your cable company, plus your internet bill. I am all for that. I love that. I have Hulu. I have Netflix. I have Crunchyroll, and I have...
Funimation.
I just started paying for Funimation, and I also got PlayStation View, so now I can watch my shows live. So like HBO and crap like that, and I watched the Heroes of the Dorm live stream. You know what I can't deal with? when you move it to the internet and you play more goddamn ads than you had on the freaking TV. That is retarded. Supergirl has a commercial break with 3 commercials every 5 to 10 freaking minutes. What is wrong with you, CBS? Just sign up with Hulu, put your shows on there like everyone else. Let me pay to get past your stupid commercials. I don't want to deal with them. You know what you're doing? I'm not watching your freaking show.
That's right. That's what you're
brother.
do.
Preach,
You're
brother
just
Bennett.
draw people off of your channel. Like,
I'm
no
not-
one will watch.
I liked Supergirl enough that I was willing to watch it. I got like 7 episodes in and I'm like, I cannot deal with your commercials. I can't. I'm done. Because not only that, they're playing 3 commercials every commercial break, and you always get the same freaking ones.
It's always the same commercial. It's always a minute long, and you're like, oh my god, this car.
Yeah.
We're gonna buy this car.
I'm so tired of YouTube right now with this stupid car ad, and I think it's like Amy Pond or somebody from like Doctor Who is talking to it, and it's like, what the hell?
Oh my god. Yeah, it's
That's
true.
a good rant. Good quality uncut rant right there.
CBS, you're gonna lose Supergirl because people who are willing to watch it aren't gonna put up with your shit. I'm gonna buy it on Blu-ray and be like, wow, could have gone 2 seasons, but you were stupid. I think it actually already got approved for 2 seasons, didn't it?
Yeah, I think it did too.
Yeah.
That was good. That was good stuff.
Buick,
Good
see,
stuff.
watching Nuggets knows what I'm talking about.
What's the next topic?
So
I mean,
apparently,
it's a good transition.
well, you're gonna love this story, Sal, because it's something very near and dear to your heart, and that is the Inhumans movie might be delayed to 2019, and that's possibly because of Indy 5.
What's Indy 5?
Yeah, Indiana Jones
Jones.
number 5. Disney wants to like focus all their attention on that, not drown it with Marvel franchises.
They don't want to cut into their own like gross revenue, basically.
That would be great. Push it back as far as you can.
I'm on board with trying it. I'm not gonna lie. I like. Okay, they have 3 Inhumans books going right now. I think.
Yep.
Is it 3? I really like the one with Black Bolt, where the first arc was them going back in time, discovering his son. Now he's running like this like casino kind of thing.
The Quiet Room, which he had in Secret Wars.
Secret Wars, they're
Yeah,
keeping that
which
book
was-
going. That's crazy.
Yeah, no, it was. I'm loving that book so far.
That's
I am
Uncanny.
not liking Uncanny Inhuman. No, is it Uncanny? Which one's the one with the like the
Uncanny is the one
roster
with-
and then it's got Rax or whatever her name is in it.
That's all new.
I don't like that one.
I'm okay with that one. And then there's Karnak is the third one.
Well, because
Karnak,
you know what,
whichever.
yeah,
if it ever
Karnak's
comes
gone.
out.
Is it gone? Or I thought it was canceled with Red Wolf.
It's not canceled. It's just that Warren Ellis takes forever to write it.
Okay.
Like it's just that it comes out like every 2 months or something like that.
More than
Red
that,
Wolf-
it was like a 4-month gap between
Yeah.
issue 1 and issue 2.
It's nuts. Like
Gotcha.
For nothing to happen.
Well, the problem I'm having right now is the Uncanny Inhumans of Black Bolt, Medusa, and you've got Johnny Storm on there. I love it, and I love the new characters they've introduced, and you pretty much have used characters that I know to introduce me to characters that I'm now interested in.
Yes,
I love
that's
the
a cool
blind
movie.
guy with the visions. I love
Reader.
Reader. Yeah, I love the whole crew. The all new Inhumans, you pretty much put the Snake Girl, who doesn't look the same in the stupid TV show. So, what's her name again? Rain?
Nausea.
Nausea. No, it's not her name, is it?
It is Nausea. It's Nausea in the book. It was Rain on TV. They never said they were the same character.
It's the same guy! What is wrong with you?
In fairness, they never did give Nausea's origin story, so for all we know, she might be the same, or maybe they figured not to pull the trick
Anyway,
off.
that's the only character I could even slightly recognize because we did research on her because of the show. That's the only reason I was able to do slight research on her, and I don't care enough about her to ride the wave of all these new Inhumans. You need to give me someone I know in there and be like they're an Inhuman. You know what would make all new Inhumans amazing? If Old Man Logan was on it, they're like, oh yeah, by the way, you're actually an Inhuman.
Do it. By the way,
Even if they did, even if they're like, oh, Old Man Logan's a mutant, but he doesn't trust the mutants, so he's working with the Inhumans. Oh, Old Man Logan plus all these new Inhumans. Boom! I just made a book. Why am I not writing comics?
Let's look Wolverine and the Inhumans, and it would sell a boatload.
Yeah, it
That's
would.
it. By the way, if it's spelled Naga, it's called Naga because Naga is is the word for a half snake, half human person.
Oh, I know what it is. I play Dungeons and Dragons. Thank you, Sal.
Exactly.
How have we not all played Dungeons and Dragons?
You want to
yet
do?
together?
We should do that. A weekly poll, bi-weekly Dungeons and Dragons game.
People would eat that up.
We would
man.
need a DM. I don't want a DM. I'm tired of DMing. I need a
Tiffany
DM.
will DM it, and we'll do it.
All right, deal.
We'll take-
Tiffany, can you hear me?
Not
Tiffany?
here yet, but
Oh, okay.
yeah. Just
I was gonna say I might.
Everyone
also know
tweet
a guy.
Tiffany right now and say you're DMing the weekly polls, the D&D game. Tweet
Yeah.
her right now. Everyone go. I love it when this happens.
I'll put it in the chat.
He'll put it in the chat. We all need you to go tweet her and be like, you are DMing the weekly polls D&D game.
I want to be an orc.
What the hell, Joel?
I want to be an orc.
I like orcs, man. What can I say?
I want to be a hobbit.
They don't have hobbits.
They have halflings.
Yeah.
We need to decide if we're going to do Pathfinder or D&D, but we'll talk about that another time.
We'll figure it out later. We got comic news to talk about.
Right. All right. So anyway, Inhumans movie delayed. I'm a little disappointed. I'm kind of excited to see what they're going to do with this. I think Vin Diesel's supposed to be the Black Bolt.
Yep.
Right?
Supposedly. That was the hot
I'm excited
rumor.
about that. I want to see more about it. I'm waiting for you to link it, by the way.
I mean, we're going to be getting Inhumans regardless because they're building them up on S.H.I.E.L.D. and they continue to be. It would be really limp if after all the build-up, they're like, yeah, we decided we're just not going to do the Inhumans.
Well, that's kind of what they're doing.
That's exactly what they'll do. They'll be like, if they get the X-Men back one day, they'll just go, eh. Because S.H.I.E.L.D. is like, S.H.I.E.L.D.'s cool, but it's more or less just a yearly commercial for the next Marvel franchise. And for them, they're like, I can see them just going like, especially if S.H.I.E.L.D. is still going, and Coulson's like, I got all the Inhumans, what am I gonna do? And then the X-Men come in, and they're like,
look, I mean, I liked Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., I do, but
I like it too. But
I feel like they need to drop this Inhumans plot, move the hell on, and stop dragging out the plot overall. I feel like the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. show would be amazing if they just bit the bullet and did a 13-episode season and just focused on the plot instead of just constantly.
Well, like
dragging
the
it
humans
out.
are the plot. They're
They
called
are.
the season the secret the secret defenders
Warriors.
and it's like who? You're talking about Daisy and Lincoln?
And Yo-Yo.
She's in one episode.
Yeah, she was, but she was there.
And
she wasn't.
not there. Like that's no.
And they're making up Inhumans that aren't even real Inhumans. You know, like Lincoln. That guy's not freaking real.
He sucks.
But that's okay because some of them are showing up in the comics now.
Well,
Yeah.
that's not the. It's not. Hey, let's make him on the movies and the TV show, and then we'll write him into a comic. It works the other way around,
They're
guys.
doing
That's
it
not how it's
backwards.
supposed to go. We have 1,000 Inhumans.
I know.
All suck.
You
But
have
like,
a whole book of the all-new Inhumans that I just complained I don't know any of them.
You couldn't work Dante into the TV show.
This
at
is like
all.
super rant episode.
yeah, it is. This is the epic rant episode.
You know what they need to do? If Indy 5 is such a problem, they've already established that aliens exist in the world of Indiana Jones. You just need Indy meets the Inhumans
Could you
is what
imagine
you
if
need.
Marvel tried to combine Indiana Jones with everything?
It would be a license to print money.
No, it wouldn't. That's the worst idea I've ever heard.
This is why Joel isn't writing comics. That's why you and I are trying to write comics. Joel's like, Indiana Jones and the Inhumans, I'm amazing.
Because it's all just fan. Hey, you know what? You say that, but someone at another studio got paid to cross over Men in Black and 21 Jump Street. So don't say my ideas.
That's because they're desperate.
Yeah, that's desperation. That's a genuinely good idea.
No, I'm not
I
saying
don't- I don't know
that.
the
Watch
difference.
that. We're all making fun of that movie. It's going to come out and we'll be like, fucking amazing.
I know.
You know
That's
what?
what I'm scared of.
I guarantee it will be better than the last two.
It's
I liked 21 Jump Street. 22 Jump Street was okay.
That's the thing. More
like both
people
of them.
like both. More people like 21 and 22 Jump Street more than the last two Men in Black movies.
Oh, yeah. The Men in Black after the first one was kind of like, what are you doing?
But here's
What
the
are
thing:
you
the
doing?
two guys who actually made the 21 and 22 Jump Street good, they're not going to be involved in this crossover, and that's unfortunate because they were the guys who were like, let's fill it with meta comedy and make jokes about how dumb this idea is.
yes.
I think it was in 22. They're like, yeah, we just moved across the street. 22 Jump Street. Like,
That's a funny idea. That's a funny like joke at the expense of a obvious cash grab. I liked that.
They literally call it a meat cute. Where it's like, hey, you got some meat in my cute tip. Yeah, it's like we're having a meat cute right now.
God.
anyway, I didn't know about this. So Jane's not going to be in the Thor Ragnarok movie?
No.
That's the new thing that's all over the place right now. Apparently, no Natalie Portman.
What, is there a reason? Or
She doesn't want to do it anymore, right? She wanted to be out in the last one.
Well, from what I heard, they just had nothing to write for her because Ragnarok's going to be a buddy picture between Hulk and Thor. So they're like, well, we got no room for love interests on this one.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because I feel like I feel like Natalie Portman, as of the second one, is pretty much ready to leave anyway, because they're really doing nothing with Jane.
She is easily the most underwritten of all the love interests, which is a shame because I love Portman as an actress, and they don't let her do anything in those movies.
No. I almost feel like she signed on initially because they were going to let her do more things, and that just didn't,
Well, they just wanted. I think they were just like, we want Natalie Portman. We want to be like, because they were like, it's a Thor movie. Who's going to go see that? Put Natalie Portman's name on it. People will go.
Yeah, maybe that was
Now
it.
they're like, no, we'll go. Like, we don't care. Don't put Jane Foster. I don't care.
She's no Pepper Potts.
Pro is stating, so Jane. Hulk is the love interest now, huh?
Hey, that might.
You know what's funny though? I think we've talked about this on the show. Like, I don't give a crap about Jane Foster in the movies. But if she became Thor, I bet she'd be real excited to be in those movies again.
Have you been reading? I mean, I know you guys, because you're the ones that told me I missed an issue. But that arc is freaking amazing.
Yeah,
but you know what I realized? Side note about the Mighty Thor arc.
Yeah.
Everyone's complaining about this. And they feel like the female Thor thing's been going on for too long, and we want to change it back. The problem is, it hasn't.
No,
it had
exactly.
like 8 issues, and then it went on hiatus for like half a year.
Yeah, because it's Secret Wars.
Yeah.
They had to take a break. Like, it's not that much, and he'll be back before you know it.
I got a feeling they're going to keep them both around. I think that's what they're going to do.
Oh god,
Yep.
yeah.
I mean, like, eventually they'll just kill her. Like, they'll kill her, and then she'll go
what
to.
I think is going to happen is it's going to be like the Sam Wilson and the Captain America thing.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
just the two of them. Like, fuck it, we got them both.
Multiple
why not?
Wolverines, multiple Captain Americas, multiple Spider Women going on
We're
right now.
multiple Spider-Men literally using the same name at the same time.
Yeah. Here's the thing that used to exist. This is harkening back, but there used to be a thing called the Thor Corps in the 90s.
Yeah.
Because there were like 4 Thors.
Yeah.
This is the least amount of Thors we've ever had.
One was
So,
a frog, Sal. I'm glad they're gone.
No, Thor Odinson became a frog.
Yes, he did.
No, there is a frog.
He became the frog. It was a trick by Loki.
Whatever. It's still the frog that used the goddamn hammer.
Listen, if you want to make fun of Thor, there's a horse Thor named Beta Ray Bill. Like,
I know.
That's ridiculous.
What's he doing these days, Beta Ray Bill?
Beta Ray
honestly?
Bill? I think he's spending most of his time being dead. But no, I feel like he might have died during Annihilation, but I don't know if that's true. So the chat will have to take me to task on that.
You know what? I want to go another rant about this. Okay, I want to rant about this stupid. Okay, so I get it. You want to diversify Marvel. We want a female Thor. We want Black Captain America. We want a Hispanic Spider-Man. All that stuff.
Yeah.
I am literally on board because most of those stories are amazing.
Great. Yes.
And I was even on board with them passing the mantle. Oh, it's Thor. She's doing it. Here's the plot of her being Thor.
Yeah.
Oh, he's Cap. That's cool. Cool. When the arc is over, we don't call them the same freaking thing still. Like, why?
Well, because that's what sells. The reality is, like, Thunderstrike doesn't sell, but Thor does. And that's how it works. Like, you can't have 2 Thors and have one be called Girl Thor or Thor Woman or the Lady Thor.
I think the best ever was when Spider-Man cracked all those jokes when they all saw him. Like,
Yeah,
what do we call it?
funny.
Female Thor? Thoretta? Thorita? Thor...
Yeah, exactly. They can't
Thor.
do that. Like, if that's the case, the book won't sell. You gotta give them no opportunity. Like, you gotta either say, like, if you don't like a Black Captain America, TS. If you want to read a Captain America book, this is the one. Now they've made 2 Captain America books. I think that's a mistake, and I think it's a mistake for a lot of really weird and creepy reasons. Like, don't look at the metrics for like which book sells, because it'll like some jackass.
Is the white or the black cap selling?
Like, which cap will sell more of? Like, that's not a good idea.
Is the opening joke from Nick Spencer of "You're not my cap" going to become the new argument?
Yeah, it's gonna be. I mean, like, I like the idea of making more comics, but I don't like the idea of making more superfluous comics. Like, if these are stories that need to be told, fine. But, like, don't put out, like, 7 Captain America books. Don't make, like, 12 Thors. Like, you know that Thor Odinson's going to get his own book, and when he does, like, are people going to care?
Do you think they're going to call it Odin's son? Or do you think it's going to be, Odin's son Thor and then Jane Foster Thor is what they're going to do?
They'll just call it
With the
Odin's son.
names.
They'll just call her. They've gone all in on Lady Thor. So, like, we're gonna call her Thor. We're gonna call him Odinson, and we're just gonna go with that.
It's weird because it's like she was the most in your face one they did.
Yes.
Because even Sam Wilson was like, yeah, he's the new Cap, but we all know he's gonna give back the shield.
Well, because Captain America was still alive and walking around.
Yeah.
It was like he'll eventually get the serum or the Infinity Formula or whatever, and he'll be fine.
Also, because Jason Aaron doesn't do things half measures either. When Jason Aaron does something, he does it all the way, which is why I respect him.
Right. That'll be cool.
Or they already had a book called Thor's, so why not they just come together? And we're gonna have Green Lantern, so why not have a Thor's and Green
Thor
Lantern?
book, that cop Thor book?
I loved it.
by the way, like, you know how like the Nova Corps existed and they were kind of like the comparable thing to Green Lanterns? Like, no. Bring back the Thors and them the Green Lanterns of the Marvel Universe. Like, that'd be kind of cool.
There's a pitch.
That's a pitch. That's a book. Because then,
well, in all honesty,
Green
Lantern is probably the one thing that Marvel has never been able to like redeem and make themselves.
And no, like as much as the Nova Corps are cool, like a third of comic book readers think that the Nova Corps are cool. Like,
I know. I can tell you right now. I literally, here, I'm gonna give you the numbers right now. So Green Lantern does very well on my channel, right?
Yeah.
So to celebrate Marvel Month, I love everyone giving me crap. Why you do so much DC? I don't know. There was a freaking DC movie that just came out. What do you think? What do you think I'm gonna do when the Marvel movie comes out? Like,
yeah.
But anyway, that's an argument for another day. People would just put two and two together and be like, why does he only do 2 Marvel videos a week and he does like 4 DC and then 1 indie? I got this whole thing. I don't know if you missed it. It's called Batman v Superman. It was like this big movie.
It's making people come here and watch our show. Our shows.
Anyway, so just to go to Marvel, we're taking a hiatus from Green Lantern finally.
Yeah.
And I'm going to put Nova in its spot. Oh. Green Lantern would have already pulled off like 60, 70,000 views. Nova is at like 30.
Is that Sam Alexander Nova or Rick Rider?
Fuck Richard Rider.
Hey, no, Richard Rider's cool.
Fuck Richard Rider.
Richard Rider.
That's like Marvel. That's like the Marvel argument. It's like, have any of you, I'll ask you right now in the chat, have any of you read Richard Rider? It's like the same idiots who are like, Marvel's the better Captain Marvel. Did you even read it?
Okay, first of all, Marvel hasn't been Captain Marvel since the 70s.
No, but that's my argument. Yes.
Like, Marvel never had an Annihilation story arc where he grew as a character and became a badass and died in the Cancerverse. Like, no. Richard Rider is cool. It's just that then he died.
Right. Like, let him stay dead.
When I say Rick Rider, I really mean Annihilation is what I'm talking about.
Well, like, because listen, Richard Rider had a Nova book where he had a mullet and a 5 o'clock shadow for a while. He led the New Warriors. And nobody cared.
And that's the problem. No one bought the book. No one bought the New Warriors. No one cared about Richard Rider until they're like, he's gone. And they're like, Richard Rider! Like,
yeah. Well,
what?
Or until they did something interesting with him. Like, I liked Richard Rider especially against the landscape of Civil War, like when Annihilation was happening, when like the galaxy was being torn apart by horrible forces, and Richard Rider's like, I could use like 4 or 5 Avengers, that'd be really helpful, and he calls them, and they're in the middle of a civil war with each other, and he's like, oh my god, like I'm actually dealing with real problems.
Right.
That's a really cool story and a really cool character moment for Richard Rider, who used to be the leader of the New Warriors, and now he's a mature character. Like, that's cool. But like, what do you do with it? Where do you go from there? Like, that's the problem.
And, the problem with Richard Rider, exactly. You can't go anywhere else with him. You needed to start the journey of a superhero learning to be a superhero again.
Yeah.
Because the Nova Corps isn't the Green Lantern Corps. You don't have like this like years upon years of mythos. The Nova Corps has always just been the Nova Corps. There they are.
Yeah. I mean, like, they're a joke in the Guardians of the Galaxy movie.
Yeah,
like,
they are.
They're not a force to be reckoned with. You know Thanos is going to mop the floor with them in the opening to Infinity War.
I mean, if John C. Reilly can become a Nova Corps member, anyone can become a Nova Corps member.
I mean, you know, like, it's a cool concept, but like, I think Thor's could be the real Green Lantern Corps of the Marvel Universe.
Actually, Nimrod Canada said that Richard Rider stuck his arms into a guy's mouth, ripped his insides out. Until Sam Alexander does that, Rider is the Nova that most will know of.
Agreed.
No, but I'm going to argue that because the problem is, and this is where the Sam Alexander and the Richard Rider argument comes in. This is literally where I think the argument comes in. Sam Alexander isn't a bad character. Richard Rider is a much better developed character.
Yes.
The problem is that Richard Rider has been removed, and comic fans want Richard Rider back.
Yeah.
But he's been gone since, I think Annihilation was 2009?
It was like 2005.
Yeah. So he's been gone now for 11
years.
And we got Sam Alexander as Nova. And here's the key problem. Disney has been throwing Sam Alexander into everyone's face ever since they bought Marvel. He is one of their, like, totem Marvel characters.
He's a flagship now.
He's all in their cartoons. He's all in the toys. Yeah. He is in all of their video games. And the problem is, what's happening is the 10,000 people who remember Richard Rider and are hardcore comic fans remember him. The million people who watched the latest episode of Ultimate Spider-Man, which, by the way, got a lot better when they pulled out the crappy chibi shit. Anyway.
Oh my god, yes. They still have that monkey sound effect, but everything else it got better.
Yeah, no, it's just like my argument with Supergirl. Like, I'd love it if you just stopped telling me about her love interest and just do Supergirl.
I don't care about Cat Grant.
Yeah, no, Spider-Man, I like Spider-Man, but every time he'd go chibi, I'm like, oh my god.
I'm amazed you guys stuck with it for as long as you did.
I'm still watching it. It's not bad. Anyway, my argument is more people know about Sam Alexander now. But the hardcore comic fans are like, that guy from 2005!
Yes.
And comic fans hate to be denied is the thing, too. Yeah. They're like, no, how dare you deny me my Richard Rider? Yeah, I know I wasn't really in love with him when he was here, but now you're denying me him.
And the problem is, the Sam Alexander Nova book, as much as everyone wants to complain about Sam Alexander being Nova, still sells. Oh, yeah. To the point where it went non-stop until Secret Wars. One of the few books to get all the way to volume 6, so that's like issue 30. Which Marvel doesn't do anymore, guys. I don't know if you're aware of it. You're lucky if a Marvel book gets past issue 12 before they reboot it as something new.
Yeah. The other thing is, like, Marvel is gaga over young, relatable,
Spider-Man
characters.
Yep.
If you got Richard Rider back, they de-age him and undo all the things that you like about him.
Yeah, no, they would get rid of everything and he would just be like Sam Alexander's buddy.
Yes.
That would be the biggest slap in the face. Could you imagine
Yeah,
they bring back Richard Rider from the time stream, but he's younger, and he learns his original skills from Sam Alexander?
Okay. If they pull him from, like, 1995 and he has a mullet.
Yes, please.
And he, like, has no frame of reference and he's always, like, amazed by all these, like, technological advances, and he makes, like, outdated references that writers that were writing comics today would make back then, that would be kind of funny. But then I think at the end of the book, you'd have to be like, okay, go back. You have to die.
You have to die again. Another person brought up another thing. I Am Dragon 2424 says that everything I'm saying about Richard Rider could be directly applied to Wally West. And actually, you're right, because the reason why I think everyone, even non-comic book fans, are screaming about the Wally West situation...
Because he was in the cartoon.
He was in the show. That's the one everyone knows and loves, and that's the problem with Sam Alexander. Majority of fans at this point now know him from the show. Like...
Yeah.
No one knows, but like everyone loves the new nickname, Buckethead. I don't think Richard Rider ever got called Buckethead.
Yeah, he did.
Did he?
Yeah, it's an old word. Actually, I think Spider-Man used to call him that. But like either way, like it doesn't like it's his now.
And for the record, Nova, Miles Morales, and Kamala Khan, amazing.
Yeah.
But what about Robbie Reyes, man? Everyone forgets my boy Robbie Reyes, the muscle car driving Ghost Rider. Where did he go, man?
Yeah, where the hell did he go?
They canceled his book and no one wanted to put him in anything.
Yeah.
Because I loved him as Ghost Rider.
Me too.
Yeah. No, the only problem with that is even when they tried to transition Ghost Rider, like he was an early attempt at doing what they're doing now across the board. The Robbie Reyes, we're gonna do a muscle car Ghost Rider, and
it was a cool concept. I just didn't like it, but you know what? It wasn't for me, so I couldn't like really give it that hard a time. I did in our Off the Rack show, but I shouldn't have because it's not that bad.
It's one of those instances where they canceled it just when it was getting really interesting, when they explained, the spirit of vengeance that's inside Robbie is not the same spirit of vengeance that was in Johnny Blaze.
We knew that. There's like 1,000 spirit of vengeances.
They established that one a while ago. Yeah. Hey, by the way, there's like 100 of these fuckers.
But he did have a book long enough to actually have an adventure with Johnny Blaze and have the torch passing moment, so he got that at least.
Which is hilarious, because then the torch got snuffed out, like, okay, you, baby Ghost Rider, canceled.
Yeah, pretty much. He had like 2 more issues after that.
They've rebooted Johnny Blaze like 5 times.
Well, the problem with Johnny Blaze is the exact same problem with a lot of the 90s characters. They were built in the 90s. Like 90s Lobo, the reason why DC wanted to try something new is not because they wanted to kill your favorite Lobo. It's because 90s Lobo won't fit.
Didn't make sense.
The reason why Venom became Asian Venom. It's because 90s Venom won't fit.
Yeah, no, I submit that Ghost Rider's problem is greater than like Venom or Lobo. Like Lobo is just he's a product of the times, and the times were he's a roadie from Metallica. Like that's all Lobo. Like you can't, and they want to like capitalize. Like Lobo has a huge cult following. Well, I want to get their money again. So I'm going to put out a new Lobo book, but I'm going to also try and catch new readers by making him a new Lobo for this era.
Yeah,
Ghost Rider's a cool tattoo. It's not a comic. Like it is a comic, and it's been a comic for a long fucking time, but it's really boring. And if it's done really, really well, you can get like maybe 4 issues out of it. Like Ghost Rider isn't even a really, really good movie. Like they can't even squeeze the mythos into a 2.5-hour movie that works.
And there's not much mythos either.
Problem, I think the big problem with Ghost Rider on the mythos standpoint is the character and the idea behind the spirit of vengeance and everything. It's the same problem. Like DC and Marvel both have the same issue. They have too many versions and stuff of heaven, hell, and death.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
you can't just have 9 different things that are
no, you
supposed to
do.
be the same thing.
There's a heaven that is like the Fantastic Four use their interdimensional transporter to go to heaven and pick up the thing because he died. Like, what? Like, what about Valhalla or
exactly.
Hades or the realm that Mephisto hangs out in, which is not hell, but is in fact a hell-like place? Like, come on!
That's what I mean. DC has the same exact issue where there's just way too many heaven, hell, and who's more powerful than what.
Well, when you get into the world of like gods or Solomon or you know what I mean, like like if you have Shazam and Ghost Rider and Thor, and they all have their own myths about like heaven and hell and the end of the world,
and the creation of the world too. Apparently, like everything is real.
Yeah, everything. The answer is yes to everything. Like it's like hyper time, like whatever, it doesn't matter. Just say whatever, hyper time. Fine.
And yet you don't see Santa very much, which gets me. We have gods and monsters in Valhalla, but the heroes don't get to hang out with Santa. What's up with that?
You, if they ever did a Santa story, he'd be an Inhuman.
Well, I mean, I just got done reading The Secret Origin of Tony Stark again. And once again, they touch on the Celestials.
Yeah.
And it's like there's always a tier system of like all-powerful gods, really big monsters like Galactus and Celestials. And
yeah.
Isn't Galactus a Celestial? Like that's his whole thing?
No, Galactus is an elder god. He was a regular guy. Like he was an alien that like witnessed the beginning of the world of the new universe, and as such, because he was there at the creation, he became like part of the
do me a favor,
password of the new universe. Yeah.
Can you give me those comics later? I have an origin video I think I need to do later.
Then you got the one above all, who, as the name would suggest, is the one above all.
But he's not.
Right.
But he's not.
But he's not though, because there's other guys like.
So that's blatant.
The funny thing is, you want to know the origin story of the Marvel Universe, read Marvels. Or no, not Marvels, Earth X, because it plays with that idea and it makes it kind of make more sense, even though it's like a kind of Revelations-esque, like end of the world kind of story. I love the origin of the Marvel Universe because it is so weird and like almost Scientology-like in that like the world was created by these like it's almost Tolkien-esque. You know what? Actually, getting rid of Scientology, that sucks. But like it's Tolkien.
No, actually, you were totally right with Scientology.
It's
chariots of the gods.
Hold on.
Aliens
Cart
created.
Teach says Galactus is not a Celestial. He's just a squatter.
Yeah, he is. It's like I prefer to look at it from the perspective of Tolkien, where there are gods and elder gods and like sub gods, and they're actually just more like aliens. That there is no real god. There's just different tiers of power, and all these different aliens had different like very very human-esque motivations for doing what they did, and so like humanity is just but one part of a grander scheme that isn't really all part of a grand scheme. Like it all works because it has to, but it doesn't. It's not like there's a magic godlike clockmaker that lets it all happen. It's just that there's some things that are just. It's like Bill Murray in Groundhog Day, where he's like, maybe the old God, maybe like God is just God because he's been around so long he knows everything. Like these creatures are maybe like you would look at them as a god because they can create matter from nothingness, but like they're fallible and jealous and petty like us, and it's like that's cool, and it's really cool to see someone like Stan Lee and Jack Kirby create a literal modern mythology out of nothing, just off the top of their heads. Like, I love the Marvel Universe cosmology and mythology. Like, that's a really cool concept. It's just that, like, no one wants to say that out loud. Like, no one at Marvel wants to go like, oh, well, there's no God, but there are these. Like, stop right there, okay? Because if you say that, you can't get elected to the president of the United States. Like, you know, like, it also kind of, you can't go in the Marvel office and go like, well, here's the structure of how the universe was created, and
here's the
your
masters
story
of the universe.
Yeah, and your story has to piece down from this one place, even though as comic readers, we kind of like fit in the dots. We win no prizes by filling in the genetic code with frog DNA so that the whole Marvel Universe like structure works.
One thing that I always wondered, and this is an honest question for you guys and the chat over there, why does everyone need the structure? What does it matter?
It's human.
Because even once it's established, let's just say, I mean, a great example is Legend of Zelda.
Yeah.
Everyone for years wanted a timeline. Want
timeline.
to know what the timeline is. How does it all fit together? Is it legitimately just
is it
new
a split
games all the
timeline?
time? Is it a split? How does it work? So Nintendo finally said it, and everyone said, "No, you're wrong."
Because we liked our canon better.
We liked what we did better. Yeah.
They took too long. The fact is, humans as a race like patterns. We like music. We like rhythm and symmetry. And so we want things
place for everything and everything in its place.
We legitimately, like, even at the most basic genetic level, will like want to put things in an order. And so we like continuity. Humans thrive on continuity. We need things to make sense before and after. That's why we want to know where we go when we die. That's why we want to know like who our parents are. We want to have this whole like through line of our existence. And comics are a like distillation of our own existence, and we project our own like live our own lives onto those comics. And if they don't make sense, if there's no symmetry, then we freak out. And that's why we like symmetry in our comics.
Because it's chaos, and if there's chaos, there can be no order.
That means that the clockmakers, which are the editors, they're doing it for a paycheck, which is of course like the great fallacy. That's what they're doing. Like they're doing it to make money, and they like if it makes sense, it's accidental or incidental. And like even in that own part, that's kind of glorious, because like if continuity happens, like naturally occurring, like the ISOs in Tron Legacy, like they manifested, like continuity manifests just from the human condition, even though we're like, I don't care about continuity, this happened and this didn't happen, and Gwen Stacy had kids, but you know, she never had sex with Norman Osborn, I don't care, whatever.
Did you notice, Sal, that you got 2 Tron references in 2 weeks in a row now? You should get a medal for that.
I do, yeah.
Here's your no prize.
But yeah, thank you. Put it right here on my shelf. But like, it's the fact is, like, continuity is a miracle in modern comics, and it's kind of beautiful when it happens anyway. And it's even more like sad and pitiable when there are editors or writers who are like, I want to maintain that continuity. Like that guy, who's the one who's writing the Ultimates, who's like, no, there's a new element in the universe thanks to Marvel Prime. Ewing, a poor son of a bitch. Because no one else cares.
Fighting an uphill battle.
And I don't mean that like we don't care. Like we want that. We're like, thank you.
Yeah.
Like, Marvel editors, they're like, whatever, man. Do whatever you want. If it sells, that's what matters. But like nobody cares. Like if it conflicts with Civil War 2 or Secret Invasion 2 or Siege 3, we're just gonna do it. Like,
don't forget about the Death of Return thing and the End of X and the Apocalypse War thing coming up, and
Vex, Apocalypse
still going.
Age of Apocalypse 5, like if it gets in the way of our summer blockbuster event, like then get out of the way. I mean, look at Annihilation.
Death of the Return of the Dead No More.
I mean, look at Annihilation. It was a huge, amazing, really cool event that like crossed over 1,000 titles, won awards, and had better art than most of the Civil War tie-ins. And yet, what sold? The Civil War book, because that's what sells. Like. It came out at the exact same time, and nobody knows. And it actually works to its advantage, because it's like it was in space and humans weren't there. Like we missed it, but like, but it's also like, oh, but it didn't sell, so it's like we'll never see that again.
Well, real quick on that one, just a side note before we go to the next topic on our list here, so we can start wrapping this up. I think actually Marvel's testing this year, because we have a lot of events happening, but we're having a lot of small events happening.
Oh, yeah.
3 issues, 4 issues. They'll be done in 2 months, and we'll move on to the next one. I think it's a test to see if they can start banging it out.
And it's very family. It's like very family focused too, because like Pleasant Hill is just all the Avengers and connected books. Apocalypse War is just the X-Men books and everything in there.
Standoff is amazing though.
Yeah,
I am loving Standoff.
Yeah, and it's cool because it's not a
really good.
It's not a traditional crossover. It's not like the thing that you expect where. Like I was actually kind of lost with Standoff because I couldn't find, you know, the logo and the core title. Like it's just a thing that's happening in these Avengers books. Like it's not an event.
What I dig about it too, and I'm sure I've said this elsewhere, it's not like an A goes to B goes to C type thing. You can read the books you are normally reading, and the story happens organically. And if you want to pick up everything else and know what's going on everywhere, you can. But your own book won't be, you know, messed with that much. So if you're just reading all new, all different Avengers, you can totally do that if you want.
Exactly.
So okay, we gotta move. We gotta keep rolling though. I know. We can talk about Standoff for a little while because I am really enjoying that one, and I think it's the only event happening at the moment. But Civil War 2 Prelude.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So there were some massive leaks. Thank you.
What I was gonna say is, don't give out the leaks.
No, I'm not going to. I was going to say.
I've come to accept spoilers in this profession,
Same.
but everyone in our chat has not. So
Think of this as a PSA warning that the leaks are out there, and thank you, 5 people who tweeted me all at once last night and said, "Hey Joel, here's a certain website that shall not be named. You want to go look at the spoilers?" And I'm like,
yeah, give me that afterwards, because what I like to do, because
Yeah.
every idiot and their brother likes to try. Oh, just spoil it for Comicstorian. Fine, I'll go find out ahead of time and be like, haha, screw you, you're banned.
That was-
Oh my
and
God.
you did nothing to me.
Oh, let me tell you something. With respect to Civil War II, the comic, there's a free comic book day, like Prelude book that's like
"That's the one. That's
the one. Yeah. Diamond sent their stock of books to a very small group of people. You could really point to who stole that book, because like I have that book and I didn't spoil it. Like I know what happens in Civil War II, but I'm not going to ruin it for everybody because I'm not a freaking jackass.
Right.
And you can make fun of Dan Slott all you want to about having a problem with your spoilers, but like you're the dick.
Yeah."
What, Dan Slott?
No. The guy who has a problem with. Let's not get into it.
Oh no, you're saying the one who gives out the spoilers.
Yes.
Okay.
He who
No,
shall
you and
not
I
be
established that one because like someone tweeted to both of us with what was almost obviously a fake spoiler, but it's like, are we gonna have to play this game for a month now? Like,
You did that. It was amazing. Benny Skyped me and he was like, "Someone's ruining books. Like, watch out." Or movies. I don't remember what it was.
It was a movie. It was a. I don't know if it's fake or not, so I'm not going to say what it was.
Right.
Because it may be legit, and no one's heard about it. But either way, I hit him up with, "Hey, someone's tweeting us potential spoilers for the movies. I don't think they're legit, but you may not want to read your Twitter feed for a second."
Exactly. No, and what I did was I turned my phone sideways so I couldn't read the screen. But I went into my Twitter feed and I saw like the most recent one. And I just blocked him. Like. Because it's not funny, and like I know that like people get excited and they're like, "Oh my god!" Like we get people all the time, and you guys know this as well, where we get fans who are like, "This is really cool. I'm so fucking pumped," and aren't you
They
too?
want to share into it, yeah.
And they want to share it, but like there are other people who are. That's clearly not what's happening. They're like,
Oh yeah, no, they're clearly trying, and you can tell who they are. They're the ones who jump in, and they're not trying to start a discussion. They're just like, best example ever. If you haven't seen Force Awakens yet,
Where have you been? I'm glad you survived your coma, but
that one it was just nothing but jackasses on the internet because it wasn't like, oh hey, can we discuss how
No.
Kylo Ren killed Han Solo? It was
Right.
Han Solo dies. You're like,
thanks.
Come on, man.
that's not a discussion piece.
That's not a discussion.
That's not me going to Sal being like, hey, I'm going to give you a small spoiler, just a tiny one, not a huge deal at all. But can we talk about what you feel about this? And you're like, cool, let's do it.
Exactly.
Hey, Sal, did you know that Kevin Spacey is Kaiser Sose?
Thanks.
You see, that's the new hipness you people need to do. Instead of spoiling new movies, you need to spoil like old movies from 20 years ago. Is what you need to
Like,
do.
here's the thing. Like for example, about 2 years ago, Tiff and I watched The Usual Suspects for the first time she saw it.
Oh,
I saw it back in when it came out, but like first time she ever saw it, they go over the lineup, and they're like, "Who's Kaiser Soze?" And she goes, "Oh, it's got to be Verbal Kint." And I'm like, "What?" And she goes, "Well, he's the only one in the team that was arrested for fraud. He's not who he says he is." And I'm like,
oh, wow!
"You figured it out legitimately
In the first 5 minutes, wow!
And then she's watched the whole movie knowing it's him, but for the first time ever, I'm like, "What the crap?" It was like when Serenity, for you 5 browncoats out there, when Serenity came out, the movie, which of course was doomed to failure, whatever, but like we were all excited for it. I read it was 2005. Blogs are doing movie reviews, and the movie hadn't come out yet, but they were doing a lot of screeners, and they were like, "Hey, this is a spoiler-free review," and I'm like, "Okay, I just want to know if the movie's cool." I read the first paragraph and it says, the line is, "Despite the fact that 2 most beloved characters die in this film," and I'm like, "That security breach."
That's like the Joel thing where I'm like, we're going to do a spoiler for Inhumans. So what about that scene with...
By the
I
way,
was chomping at the bit.
most tense moment ever in the theater is if you have like a show that you loved that was killed and then they brought back a movie and you know that 2 of the 9 main characters are going to die. So every tense moment that threatens any one life, you're like, this is it! This is where they die! Like, by the way, didn't see either of them. Like, then one dies and I go, okay, there's only one left. Oh my God. I've never been more tense in my life than watching that movie and being like, who's going to die? Because there's moments where like Serenity's spinning out of control and Jane is making sure that everybody's like secure in their seats. I'm like, he's going to flip over and snap his neck and die. Oh my God. Or like, just, it was amazing. That tenseness. It was, I want to thank that guy for like having a singular experience in the theater, but I also want to punch him in the freaking jaw. Because he really made this movie, but you know what? Like, whatever. Like,
no, you should have ruined it for the whole theater. Like when you walked in, like, just so you all know, 2 people are gonna die. I don't know who.
You need to do the old punch hug, is what you need to do.
Yeah. By the way, have you guys ever experienced a moment in the theater, like in a movie theater, especially like over the last 10 years when really, really cool, fun movies have been coming out, but like where the audience really got invested in what happened?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
my audience cheered for Batman v Superman.
Yeah.
You guys just go dead. Awkward silence.
I'll tell you something. You know what really blew my mind was when we were in Batman vs Superman. I was in that same theater with you, Benny, and
oh yeah, you were right, because you were there.
And you know what happened? I
you remember that then? They were like, you're like, what?
We were like, stop. But like, yeah. The previews came up and the Ghostbusters trailer. It was the first time I saw the Ghostbusters trailer in the theater.
Oh yeah, they also laughed at that. So
they like loved it, and I'm like, I felt like I was like, I felt like I was in like, it's sort of like,
I love, because you were sitting next to Josh, right? One of our friends. I'm not going to go into who he is.
The guy from Valiant, who's like,
or you can go ahead and just say who he is.
It's so okay to say is
we were there with the guy from Valiant, and when Batman and Superman started, and Bruce Wayne's hovering at the beginning of it, and he's just, all I hear is him cracking up, sitting next to Sal, and then Sal jumping in. I'm just like,
unbelievable.
Sal is like, I am a stranger in a strange land.
It was really weird. But I will say, in Serenity, the second character dies, right? And we're like, oh shit. Like, this is a gut punch plus a gut punch. And then he dies, and then they have to leave because they're being chased. And one character says to another, "Where's the dead character?" And the other character says, like, "Oh, he's not coming." And that's when you know he's not coming back. That's a good 2-3 minutes of the movie. So the guy dies, stone cold silence, just movie flickering for the first time ever. And then I just hear this guy in the background just go, "No!" Like, it hit him. Like, he was just, the thing happened and he's like,
like he was really in it. He was living the movie.
He rebooted. And then when he came to, he's like, I'm capable of speech again, and I recognize what happened, and I can't believe it. That was amazing. I was like, all right, it's worth it him dying just for that guy.
Is it lame that the only thing in my movie viewing experience that comes even close to that is when I went to go see like that last Harry Potter on the opening day, and like the people in front of me in the row in front of me like jumped up and cheered at certain parts, like literally out of their seats, and I'm like, hey, it was cute.
You know, it's another great moment. I saw Pirates of the Caribbean 3 in the theater.
In that one.
What?
I want to tell a story real quick. So I just get in the military. I'm brand new in the Army. That movie comes out. Me and a bunch of buds that just got to our first duty station got hammered. Went to Pirates of the Caribbean. Fell asleep the whole movie. Woke up at the end like, what happened?
No one can blame you. That movie was needlessly long and
real quick, just for the Mosey Fuss is asking, I was in here last week, Rob is in here this week. We're not falling apart. We have lives outside of this weekly show.
Yeah, Rob hasn't taken a vacation in his life.
Yeah, so Rob's actually the one that has been here more than I have. I'm the one that is like, I have a little bit of extra work today. Guys, I'll see you next week. Yeah. Dallas is the one that's like, I just don't feel like being there today.
I like the chat in their minds. It's like, did Benny and Rob get a divorce, and Joel and Sal are like the children?
Next week, we're having a giant fight right now, and we're letting Joel and Sal decide who they like more. That's who will carry on the weekly poll.
Yeah,
I don't know, man.
Me, right, guys?
Well, but, Benny gave us ice cream before we started, so
yeah, it was nice.
Benny's leading right now.
Thank you, Benny. We saw Pirates of the Caribbean 3 in the theater. and there were 4 pirates, like full cosplaying pirates, including one Johnny Depp when he was like in character to the nines, like braided his own hair, amazing costumes. Sat down in the theater, we're like, yeah. And the movie's over. They come out. They looked like someone like gave them all terrible news. Like they just all came out of there like.
I actually
they were the saddest pirates I've ever seen in my life. I
actually saw Sherlockians when I went to go see that first Guy Ritchie Sherlock Holmes.
Thing?
Oh, dude, Sherlockians, they're like the original cosplayers, man. They did it before it was cool, dressed up in Sherlock Holmes stuff, and went to Sherlock Holmes movies and functions.
That is bizarre.
No,
I will say,
there's no behind-the-scenes scary stuff going on. Well, no, there is that behind-the-scene war that I'm having with Armin and #FuckCBC, but that's a whole nother thing. I haven't done it to you in a couple weeks.
I know you haven't.
You know what? I had one other situation.
For the record, there is no hard feelings. It's now just a running joke. No one go tweet anybody. It's not a bad thing. We're disclaiming it now. So if I get a bunch of angry tweets later, I'm just going to block you all like I did last time.
Benny's already made me feel awkward, so mission accomplished.
But similarly, the earliest one I can think of was Austin Powers 2, The Spy Who Shagged.
Nice.
A guy came in dressed like Austin Powers.
Nice. I bet he felt really cool back then.
And he was doing like all the stuff, and then comes out of the theater like, oh, that was not good.
Bad?
It was amazing.
Okay, we'll just wrap up this because Sal does have to run off, get his family.
You have to go soon. Yes.
Okay, what do you guys think about the Star Wars Rogue One trailer?
Awesome.
Super cool.
I'm excited for this because as much as I liked Force Awakens, I'm also like, I want to see something that's not in that series.
This looks to be much different. I like the scene that sold
tone's better. The tone, the characters, the story seems to be a separate story.
It's much more down and dirty. The scene that sold me is when they're fighting the walkers on a beach, and I'm like, oh, it's a beach instead of a snow or desert. I like that.
Palm trees. Ooh, like that trailer. I want my Star Wars has grease on it and dirt and grime and like treads, and it's built and it's just it's not just lived in, like homeless people lived in it. Like that's what Star Wars is. And Rogue One felt like just a dirty subway. Yeah. Like, and that's what I want my Star Wars to be like. And it's like for me, it's funny because I was like, this is almost like a fan film that was made in 1997, but with today's cameras.
With the Admiral Thawne-looking guy who seems to be the villain.
I'm like, that's a Grand Admiral. That's the first time we're ever going to see a Grand Admiral in a movie. That's awesome. Like, he looks great. So much cool stuff. And it's set in Star Wars. Like, the Star Wars you love, that's when it is. Like, it's in real Star Wars. Like, that's really cool. I feel like there's... I don't want to ruin it or speculate or anything like that, so the trailer looked so cool, I was so in. Like, and another female lead, I'm down.
Forrest Whitaker, who looks to be playing, like, the old wise Obi-Wan.
Yeah, I don't care about Forrest Whitaker.
I don't care about him at all. All right, Suicide Squad Blitz trailer, then. I'm going to say... So, for those guys who don't know the saga of Suicide Squad, I'm feeling real fast. Suicide Squad was a different movie in its entirety. They had one trailer, everyone's like, all right, whatever. So they came out with that goofy trailer that told a few of the
Queen.
jokes. Yeah, with Queen, Bohemian Rhapsody. I can't say it.
Rhapsody.
There you go. Anyway, they came out with that, and everyone freaked the hell out. They're like, this is going to be an amazing movie. It's going to be great.
Because it was an amazing trailer.
Well, as it turns out, that trailer had all of the funny scenes in it. Like, that was WB
rumor.
literally said, that has all of them. There's no other funny scenes.
Right.
So what they've now done is they've spent $10 million in reshoots to add character and quippy one-liners to the movie.
Now, David Ayer says that's not true, but I am highly suspect.
They basically came out and said they did reshoots to make it line up with the trailer, to which everyone then said quippy things, blah, blah, blah. And he said, oh, no, it's not adding one-liners, it's developing the characters further. Like,
yeah.
And again, I love this trailer, and I loved this trailer, but I'm also afraid. I'm like, please don't tell me you used all your material for the trailer, because that felt like you used all your new material again.
Yeah, I know it did. Yeah,
like that.
So, I mean, I'm excited. I want to see what's going to happen, but I am concerned about that exact same thing. The new trailer used all the new footage.
Right? It really did.
I love Viola Davis as Amanda Waller in this, and I love her even more in this new DC cinematic universe, when they're like, what would stop Superman from ripping the roof off the White House and killing the president? And I'm like, nothing. No. Yeah, especially this Superman. You need a ragtag group of villains to protect yourself. Team Waller.
They asked that question. I'm like, not these guys.
Real quick, Cartege is wording it as, we're reshooting. We forgot to hire a writer before shooting the first time around.
Dumb Tish.
They do that.
They do that.
There are
Men in
some
Black
favorite
3,
movies.
as we mentioned. They filmed that for months without a script.
Did
Yeah.
they really?
Yes, they did. And it shows.
Yeah.
How did they film that for months without a script? Just like, here's your jokes, go do them, we'll put them in the movie later?
Pretty much.
Mario Brothers, they didn't have a script for like 6 months.
Wow.
Which
And that shows.
that movie.
So overall, I think I'm excited to see what they're going to do with it. Like I've said before, Batman v Superman wasn't horrendous for me, but it doesn't make me excited about the universe. Suicide Squad is going to be the defining factor of, is this going to turn into the, I'm going to be there Thursday night at midnight to watch the movies, or is it going to be like I'll mosey in on Sunday morning when no one's in the theater to
I
see
will
the
catch a matinee. Yeah.
Squad, for me, I'm excited for because it's fresh, it's different, it's characters we haven't seen before getting their own movie and everything. There does seem to be a sense of humor and playfulness and everything. And I mean, geez, where else are you going to find El Diablo leading the charge in something? Because El Diablo is in the movie, they brought him back in the comics now. Like, okay, you're on the team now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know about the team.
Did you guys read the Harley Quinn April Fool's Day
No,
special?
I still got it.
No.
It's sitting over here somewhere.
Here's the thing. It's actually must read now because it's just 0 issue for Suicide Squad Rebirth because it's Jim Lee and Rob Williams or whoever's doing it. Here's the thing, though. All the characters just morphed into their movie counterpart. Waller is just Viola Davis now.
Harley
Yes.
even did it in her comic where she changed
Dyed
her
her
color.
hair.
Yeah.
And got the jacket.
So,
Yeah.
all right. So, overall, guys, are you going to go see Suicide Squad day one, or are you going to be waiting for
yeah.
matinee so far?
Suicide Squad, yes.
Within the same week or weekend. I'll
Okay.
say.
I mean, I think there's no reason to ask, are you going to see it? Because even if it's the most worst movie in the world, part of our jobs requires us to go see it.
Yes, but I want to see it. That's the thing.
I'll say. So the question is more is it a midnight showing, or a weekend showing, or a matinee showing for you?
You know what's funny? Deadpool wasn't a midnight showing, and then Tiff and I were like up at 9:30, and I went, "You want to go see Deadpool?"
That's
She was
exactly
like-
what happened with me.
She was like, "Yes, I want to see Deadpool," and I'm like, "Well, then let's go!" And I'm so glad we did.
I was excited for it. And same thing as Star Wars. I was excited, and it was going to be a weekend watch for me, not a midnight. And Natalie and I were just kind of doing some shit, and I'm like, "You just want to go? Like, let's go see if there's any tickets available."
Yeah,
Let's go have an adventure. Let's go see a movie.
and it was great. I'm so glad we did. So Suicide Squad might be the same deal. Like if Tiff and I are like awake and busy on a Thursday, we'll probably go see Suicide Squad.
I think, too, I might be a bit more excited because I've always been a Suicide Squad fan. I love Amanda Waller as a character. I love just the weird, degenerate, messed up characters on the team and everything and getting them to play out together. Not sure how I feel about this in, this version of the team. I would have put different characters on it, but I mean, that's every comic fan ever. It's like, no, I would have done my dream team that I like.
Right.
All right, well,
been
anyway,
10
let's
times
wrap
more
up the main
Count
show,
Vertigo.
and then before we actually stop the stream, or you guys could take off, Sally, you need to grab Tiffany because we need to explain to her that she's the DM, and
That's
that
right.
Joel dreams of being a short, weird-looking orc.
Yes.
But yeah, thank you guys for joining us. If this is your first time joining the weekly poll, don't forget we stream every Tuesday and Thursday at about 6 p.m. Eastern with our podcast talking about comic books and pop culture. If you want to support us, giving a subscription to the channel would be amazing because that would directly support us and help us create more content. The more subscribers that we have, the more podcasts that we're going to do to talk about various topics that you want. If you can't afford $4.99 a month, you can easily follow the channel, which is another amazing thing to help us out. If you just want to chat with myself or Natalie on the whole Comicstorian team, we also stream video games before and after a lot of these podcasts, plus Sunday, Monday, and Wednesday at about 6 p.m. Eastern. That's the general plug. Anybody who's in the chat, we're not shutting down. We're going to be chatting for a little bit longer. Sal's going to step out, but that's why we're closing down the main episode. And on top of that, guys, I'm Benny the Comicstorian. Follow me on Twitter at Comicstorian. That is Joel for Caped Joel. Follow him on Twitter at the DVD Grouch. And that is Sal for Comic Pop. Follow him on Twitter at Sal Says What. As I've said before, and we'll say again, I'm the only one who knows how to brand himself.
Dumb Tish.
Yep.